Hello, you ladies. How are we today? Good? Okay. So I recently took a trip to Baltimore for one of my jobs. I had to go for a trade show. Because I've gone so much, I've been doing trade shows for over 20 years. I have some really good core friends that we only see each other at trade shows, but they're really good core friends. And it was kind of funny because um, they know me so well that they see me get into what they call my professional mode. And that is very extroverted because um, besides my coaching job, this job is my coaching business. It's not a job, it's a business. This job here is selling. I'm promoting the company and the products we sell. So I have to be very outgoing. And that was one of the biggest things to overcome was to be an extrovert. But if you really get to know me, the minute the trade show is off and I'm walking back to my hotel, the true Michelle comes out. And that is extremely introvert. And so even viewers might look at us now saying, well, the three of you are on camera. Like you've been doing this for how many years now? But I am, I call myself a professional extrovert and a personal introvert. And it took my partner a long time to see that because he only saw the introvert all the time. Like we would go
You only saw
somewheres
the
and
introvert.
yes, because he never saw me professionally. And I had to sit and explain to him, like we'll go out somewheres and meet friends or meet new people. And that's when I especially get very quiet. I get very shy. And he's like, why don't you just talk? And I'm like, nope, if I have something to say, I'll say it. But his little like poking of that actually helped me lean into that professional extrovert to kind of pull it out. But my heart is an introvert. Do
Okay,
you
well, wait,
guys?
wait, wait, wait. Let's define what introvert and extrovert. I guess we should have pulled that up beforehand. But because I think it gets thrown around a lot. So when you say introvert, what are you saying?
Me,
Yeah.
I love quiet peace. I like to be alone. If I don't have a need to be around people all the time. I know somebody who that is where they thrive. They hate being alone. They love to be around people, love to be in the throes of a conversation, love
Constantly,
to
constantly.
constantly and asking questions. Like this girl is so good at asking questions and stuff. And like sometimes I'll look at her like, why did you ask that question? Well, just to keep the conversation going. And I'd be like where I am, I think they were called beforehand. I think words were used as reserved, shy,
Shy was a big
whatever.
one when we grew up.
Yeah.
Either
But
shy or you're not.
yeah, but if like when I'm in this trade show, talking and being up front all the time, literally, physically and mentally exhausts
Mm.
me. Like
Mhm.
emotionally, that's the word I'm
Yeah,
saying.
the
Because,
energy that takes.
yeah, it just takes so much out of me. And the only way so I would like, yeah, like we saw friends yesterday, and that was the first time we probably saw friends in a week. And I was perfectly fine with that. Like, I was cool. That was, I
Did you
felt
pull
very
it out,
comfortable with
Tracy?
that.
I did. I
Oh, okay,
did.
what? Thank you.
So it says introverts and extroverts are two contrasting. This is from the Simply Psychology
Okay.
.org site. Introverts and extroverts are two contrasting personality types introduced in 1910 by Carl Jung, existing as part of a continuum with each personality type at separate ends of the scale. Introverts prefer solitude and find energy in alone time, while extroverts thrive on social interaction and seek external stimulation.
Okay. Okay. That's okay. So it's pretty well what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you were to ask me, if I was to tell some of my friends that I'm an introvert, they would roll their eyes at me and say, no way, because they don't, they don't see me in the introvert role. They see me in the work role.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how do you guys perceive yourself?
I'm exactly the same. I am very introverted, but for business, and my previous business, I was very extroverted, because that was the demands of the industries that I've been put in. So yeah, I mean, I was a
Yep.
teacher, a trainer in front of lots of people,
Yeah.
large volumes of people. Coaching now, it's group coaching. So it's I think the ability to step into that role for your business is awesome. But if I wasn't doing this, I would certainly not be
Mm.
seeking it, that's for sure. I wouldn't be going, how can I get myself in front of people? How can I teach something? How can I, that wouldn't be what I would be consciously thinking of because
Right.
I love solitude.
Yeah.
I'm very
That's where
much a
I
hermit.
thrive. Yes.
But you are seeking it with your business.
Yes, I have to seek it with my business. That's the
Hmm.
role that I choose to step into for
Right.
my business in
Hmm.
order to do what fills my heart,
Okay.
and is
So if you could do your
fulfilling.
business without ever doing the extrovert part, you'd be
If
fine.
I could do my business without talking to anybody, I'd do it all day long.
And so, what's your business again? Talking to people?
Yeah.
So
Both of
it's
us.
funny because I do that part very, very well,
Hmm.
but I just truly um covet my alone
Hmm.
time and my personal time. Um and I really do enjoy being alone. I really do.
I think for myself in the years, I've learned how to bring the energy to what I have to do, same as Tracy, talk and be visible and do what I need to do. But then I know when I have to re-energize and I know when to shut everything off and re-energize. That was the trick.
I also think you can be, I don't think you have to be
Hmm.
pigeonholed into one thing. I
Hmm.
think that because, I mean, referencing some of these comments here, one sentence says that you are energized, introverts feel more comfortable and energized in solitary or low stimulus environments. Well, that is true. The opposite is also true. Like when I was teaching and training, that also energized me. And I was able to get from that for myself. Like that also helped to feed my own energy source. So I don't think you have to be pigeonholed into one
Hmm.
specific thing. I think it really depends on what environment it is that we're talking about. Like what is it and what would be your default mode? Would you be out there like
Yeah.
let's chat away and go social and like see everybody and do all of that stuff? Or would you rather just be sitting reading a book, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Tracy G, you didn't answer.
Um, I don't know because in the past, I was always like I was shy, and lots of times it wasn't that I was shy. It's just I had nothing to say. I didn't need
Say,
to add to the conversation, or I didn't need to add to anything because there was enough going on. But I took it that I was shy, and then I realized you're not shy. You're just not one of those people. But
Right.
I don't know, like I get energy from quiet time. I definitely, and I kind of look at it slightly different. I think, how do you get your energy? And I think maybe introverts get their energy. I just need, I cannot go back to back, this. I need my downtime. Where I have friends that they get their energy from that. They get their energy from, okay, I'm gonna go out and then I'm gonna go do volunteer and then I'm gonna go do this and then I'm gonna do that. And they feed off that. I do not feed off that. I do not get my energy from constant socializing or being around people. But I do feel that have changed more that when I got rid of the shy label and realized I wasn't shy, that I use my voice much more. So I'm much more extrovert now, though I get my
Yeah.
energy in my quiet, and I'm
Mm.
very comfortable being alone. I can be alone for a week by myself and I'm not
Yeah.
crawling out of my skin or anything.
But
So,
I love the way you said that. I love the way you just said that. And I
what did
think
I
that's
say?
all three. How you said you're comfortable like using your voice. So
Mhm.
being the extrovert, using your voice when you have to, and but your energy comes from solace. And I I think as you were talking, I was also like rethinking this within myself that if I've had a really stressful week or a really hard day or whatever, I can easily go into my partner and say, "Hey, I'm going in the other room. I'm just going to read. I have to decompress. Like
Mhm.
I just like it was too much and I just need to go and get my energy." And he'll be like, I think that also is very empowering when you understand where you get your energy from
Mhm.
and you're able to vocalize it and say, "Hey, no, I gotta shut down." Like for me, I have to shut down. Other people, if you don't have to, more power to you. That's okay. For me, I have to shut down.
I think that's actually a really good question is to ask yourself, how do you re-energize? What is it that you need to, in order to be able to become the best you?
Right.
What does that look like? A lot of people don't know the answer to that question.
No. And socializing also does not mean that you have to have um, go out into this large
Mhm.
volume of people.
Mhm,
A socializing could have calling up two girlfriends and going to have a cup of coffee.
mhm,
That can give you energize. For me, sometimes that feels exhausting. And I'm like, no, I just want to stay internally, not externally. And then, like you said, Tracy E., I will ask myself, well, why is that? Like, is there something else I need to work on? But that's just my mindset stuff going on. But you don't have to, I don't think it has to be that you have to be in this huge arena of people. You can just be with three or four people and get your energy from that too.
But don't you think, like, if you use the word extrovert, so you're in a lineup for the groceries and something humorous happens or something, will you talk to the people around you? Because to me, that's more extrovert, where the introvert would go, I ain't saying a word. And so I think all of us have said that we'll talk to strangers and we'll, you know, do this. So
Yes.
isn't that kind of extrovert-ish?
That is a,
But that's just being friendly.
well, that is something that I force myself to do. I force myself to do that. When I find myself that I'm very closed in, closed whatever, I don't do it all the time. Sometimes I'm just laser focused on the grocery store and I'm going in, picking up what I want, and I'm going to get out and don't talk to me. I have to get back home and blah, blah, blah. And there are other times when I'm out and I will be like, and I see something and I'll be like, especially when we have talked about this, especially when I see something that I like on somebody
Hmm.
or like they have a nice perfume on or something. I will force myself to get out of my shell and give them a compliment. And that is hard for me.
So that is the introvert then, because you're forcing yourself as opposed to it just being comfortable with you. Interesting.
Yeah. It gets easier. It's easier.
Yeah.
But it's still, I have to make a mental note to do it. Like if I think to myself, oh, I really like Tracy Shaw, in my mind, I'll be saying it. And then all of a sudden I'll get, well, why didn't you tell her? I don't want to. Like forever. Not knowing that my compliment could really have made her day. And I know when I've gotten compliments on a bad day, they've really made my day. And I know we're diverting, but that's where I, in my mind, say, you never know whose day you can enlighten. So, Tracy, I like your shawl.
Thank you very much. It's only because I'm freezing that's
No, just accept the compliment.
Okay, thank you. It's funny because I was with somebody the other day and they said somebody walked by and they said, "Oh my God, I really love her hair." And she said, "Should I say something or is that just weird?" And I thought, oh, that's an interesting take on what you think would transpire with that, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've had people ask me that question and I always tell them, nope, it's not weird. Let them know. Let them know. There's too much craziness in our world.
True story.
Paying a compliment. You never know.
Also, isn't it just a little human interaction regardless? Like, it's okay. It's okay to.
That's another thing why I'll be like, give that compliment, because in my mind, I'll be like, boy, you've been alone for a week. Like if I'm here alone with Mona or whatever, and my partner's not here, I'll be like, you haven't really talked to anybody. Have a conversation. Like, just have a conversation. But I don't think we should. Sometimes I don't like the titles. We put so many titles on things. I think it's good to understand I like Tracy G, how you put it. I think it's good to put where you get your energy from, what fills your cup. You can look at it that way. If people, like, sometimes when you say energy, they don't understand that. What fills your cup? What makes you happy? And if it's home reading, that's where I feel filled. Okay, then that's where you do it. If it is going out and spending time with people, okay. And you can have both at the same time too.
Yeah, and I think though there's been this like introvert, and it's like that's you, that's your whole who you are, like you said, label. Extrovert, and it's like, hey, it's okay. It's all good. Whatever works for you.
I think we have to get also the title with it. Like you said, Tracy G, if you're an introvert, you're not shy. And if you're an extrovert, you're not loud and pushy.
Right.
Just where you fill your cup.
Yeah.
And where you're most comfortable. So viewer, where do you fill your cup? I'm not going to ask you if you're either or. Where do you fill your cup, or where do you get your energy? Put it in the comments. We would love to hear from you. If this episode resonates with you, or you know somebody who needs to hear this, please share the episode with them. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit the like button and notifications so you know when the next episode will come out. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.